I'm David Peters Corbett, and I work at the Courtauld Institute in London, where I'm Professor of American Art and direct the Centre for American Art. I'm delighted to be here and looking at this picture, which is Everett Shinn's theatre scene of 1903. It's a curious and interesting picture. Shinn is part of the Ashcan School. He has a very successful career as a newspaper illustrator, and point of origin that he shares with a number of the other Ashcaners, but he's particularly successful at it. And at a certain point, Shinn decides that actually the career of a newspaper illustrator is not for him, and that he wants to move into the fine arts. And in order to pursue that, he does a number of things. Partly famously he works with Robert Henry, who is the mentor and the leader, really, of the Ashcaners. But he also goes around 1900 to Europe. He goes to both Paris and London, we know that. And when he is in Paris and London, when he comes back, the character of his work shifts. And he becomes intensely interested over a long period in the theatre and in performance, the stage, and to some degree, the audience, as we see here, the orchestra who accompany performance at this time in theatres, in music halls, and indeed in circuses, all of which are types of popular entertainment that at this moment blend into each other. There is a question about exactly what Shinn went to Europe to see in 1900, and what he saw and who he met. That's unresolved in the scholarship. We don't really know, and it's perhaps unknowable. The key influence here is almost certainly Edgar Degas. Yeah. And it's Degas' pictures of café-concert in Paris, and pictures of performers, of dancers, of singers, and of their audiences, which are really driving the way in which the composition is built up and the motifs for Shinn. Theatre takes over for him as his major topic. Now, you can see in the image that he's interested in at least two major elements of the interior of a theatre. One, of course, is the performers. I also just want to mention and draw attention to the fact that he's interested almost as much, and perhaps as much, in the audience. And that includes the audience of musicians who are playing and accompanying the action on stage, whether it's a song or whether it's something more dramatic and discursive. So he's interested in how to describe what in itself is a curiously difficult motif, which is to say people and the backs of their heads. So what you see when you see the audience is just a line of people who are denied the expressive potential of the face, really. You can't see what they're thinking. They have a communal emotion, and the communal emotion is a sort of raptness. The only thing you can be interested in looking at that audience is their interest in what's going on stage, their interest in the performance, in the activity. All the expressiveness, all the expressivity, all the action, all the drama, all the emotion, all the flow of human interaction is happening on the stage, and nothing is happening in the interior. So he's got to find some way of solving that problem. And he does that, I think, by allowing you to pass through the audience to a great degree and on to the bright, spotlit duo of the two women who are on the stage. What are they doing? It's very hard to say, what is this moment? Is it a moment in a musical? Is it a moment in a song? Is it a moment in some drama? Is one of them announcing something that repulses or horrifies or excites the other? It's difficult to say. Their posture, their deportment, their whole decorum indicates emotion and the transfer, the moment of the flow of emotion between two people, but it's unspecific. You can't say, actually, no matter how hard you look at this picture, you can't say, well, actually, this is horror, this is surprise, this is revelation, or this is even community, some sort of common feeling between them. What you know is that there is something dramatic, interesting, compelling, compulsive almost for the audience that are happening on that stage. And I think Shinn realizes it well here. he realises that commitment because clearly it's something that he personally felt about the theatre. The Terra has a wonderful work on paper by Shinn's fellow ashcaller William Glackens called A Headache in Every Glass. And that picture too has a dialogue going on between the audience and the activity on the stage. It's different because Glackens is very concerned to differentiate in a way that Shinn completely is not. The responses of each of the women in the chorus line to the little bit of slapstick that's going on at the centre of the performance. So there is a duo, as there is here, who are interacting in dramatic and exorbitant way with each other, and then the response to that really comes from the chorus line surrounding them. Each of them is sharply differentiated, and their response is very distinct. The audience is just sitting around cultivating that headache that the title refers to. He's preoccupied, or actually the main figures in the audience are preoccupied with themselves, and they have a dramatic focus and a dramatic deportment and decorum themselves in a way that the figures here don't. So these two nice ashcan paintings and pictures that you have differentiate each other from quite nicely and complement each other, particularly in their treatment of audience and their treatment of the performance as well.